Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, this is going to be my September wrap-up and stats. Now this is going to be quite quick, as you can probably tell by how long it is, but also I didn't decide to set up in front of my bookshelf because I'm too tired to do that. So this is what we get. This will be my wrap-up and stats. So first we'll start with the stats and then we'll jump into the books. So in September I read 4 books. Talk about reading slump. So the page read was 1,553. My average rating was a 3.625, and I read 1 dark romance, 1 fantasy romance, and 1 romance. So definitely was a lot of romance. And I read 2 ebooks and 2 physical books. And 2 were adult, 1 was new adult, and 1 was YA. So now on to the books. So the first one is Radiant Sin by Katee Robert, which I technically started in August, but I finished it in September, and I gave this a 3.5. This is the 4th book in the Dark Olympus series, which is basically a series of standalones, but they are all interconnected, and they are all Greek mythology retellings. And so this is Apollo and Cassandra's story, and basically they end up having to fake date as they go to this event, which there leads to be murder and mysteries and all of that. And while I did like it, I do like the characters and I love the series, this one did fall a little bit flat in the plot line. And while I did like the characters, they weren't like, oh my gosh, like favorite characters. I definitely prefer the characters from the other 3 books in the series. And of course, this is going to end up being like a 10-book series, so there are going to be some books that are just not as strong as others, and to me this one just wasn't as strong, but I still enjoyed it, so it is a 3.5. The next book was Namesake by Adrienne Young, which is the 2nd book in the Fable duology, which is basically like YA pirates. And in this we are following Fable, well, in this book specifically we are following Fable as she ends up having to work for her grandmother to pay off debt / make bargains, and things get messy and all of that. And I give this 3 stars. It is very YA. I more or less read this because I owned it and I read the 1st book in August, and so I was like, I should probably finish the duology since I own the 2nd book. And it was kind of a nice book to read when recovering from my wisdom teeth surgery, because it was very simple of like, I didn't really need to pay attention to too much to understand what was going on. Next was Soul of a Witch by Harley Laroux, which I gave 4 stars, and this is a like new adult / adult, I think it's technically new adult paranormal romance, where we are following Everly, who is a witch, and Callum, who is a demon. And basically Everly ends up stumbling upon this old abandoned house that apparently has been in her family for years, but she had no idea it existed. And Callum is the demon who lives there, and he basically teaches her about her magic, while also they try to work together to figure out how to be rid of this evil god living under this town. It takes place in kind of a small town, and this is the 3rd and final book in the Souls trilogy, which the 1st book is Her Soul to Take, and the 2nd book is Her Soul for Revenge. And all 3 of these books kind of take place within the same like point of time, so like the things overlap, and so you kind of, you're with Soul of a Witch, you completed the story, so there's kind of, you know, where everything ends and where all the other characters were during this book and type thing. I gave it 4 stars because there was some points that I kind of felt like I was taken out of the story, and also I had hyped up this book so much for myself because I was like, I loved like the 1st book, I absolutely loved. The 2nd book was still pretty good, but I didn't love it as much as the 1st. And then this one, I was kind of almost like, while it's nice and I like it, it didn't blow me away like I wanted it to. But it still was really good, but it just only got a 4-star. And the final book that I read this month, yeah, because I still can't believe I only read 4, but is Stolen Heir by Sophie Lark, which is the second book in the Brutal Birthright series, which this basically we follow Nessa, who is the daughter of like some mafia people, but she's not really like filling a role in the family. She's more focused on her ballet work. And then we are following Mikolaj, I think that's how his name is pronounced, who is a gangster in Chicago, and his adoptive father was killed by Nessa's family. And so he's wanting to get revenge, and so he ends up basically kidnapping Nessa, and it is kind of a dark Beauty and the Beast retelling. And yeah, I gave this 4 stars. I did really like it. I didn't love it as much as the first book, which is Brutal Prince, but I just think I liked the characters a little bit more in that. But I did enjoy this because it was, when in doubt, I love retellings, and this was kind of a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I definitely saw the parallels, which that really made me enjoy it, and I do really like the characters as well. Nessa and Mikolaj are very much like polar opposites that fall for each other, and I love that. I also really love how these books have illustrations. Let me try to find one. Like it has illustrations. Some of them aren't as PG as that, but obviously can't really show those on YouTube without risking, yeah. But I really liked it. 4 stars. I am very excited to continue the series. I just need to now buy the rest of the books in the series, but your girl's broke. But yeah. So yeah, 4 books in a month. Fingers crossed I do better in October here, but as of the 6th when I'm filming this, I haven't even finished a single book. So reading slump is continuing, which sucks, but it's whatever. Life is life. Life is lifing right now. Like, when in doubt, reading is not my main priority, but I am still enjoying the single book that I am reading right now, so that's at least good. But yeah, let me know what is one book that you read in September. I'd love to hear that in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you did like this video. It really helps my channel grow, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!